I've been a coward for most of my life. Not in a way people usually think of being a coward, but in a way where you abandon your emotions just so you can survive the world you were raised in. Because here's the thing about going against a narrative you were never meant to consciously recognize. The moment you finally do and say, I don't care what you say, I'm moving forward towards the life I want, everything rises to the surface. Your life doesn't get quieter, it gets louder. Hidden fears, old patterns, unresolved pain, all of it comes forward to test how serious you are. That's how the subconscious mind really works. When you choose to create a new identity, it forces you to confront the exact processes that created the old one. So I thought that by telling my story, it might help you recognize that narrative in yourself. For starters, I'm autistic, and for most of my life, I tried to hide my emotions and vulnerability because there wasn't a safe space for them. I was raised in a set design where my emotions didn't matter. My mother lacked a sense of self, and while many parents make mistakes, in my case it meant growing up unmothered. When life got hard, my father modeled control and tough love, so I learned very early if I shut down my emotions, if I stayed logical, if I didn't need anything, I would be accepted. And that's when I started being a coward. Not because I was weak, but because the younger me learned that emotional self-abandonment was safer than honesty. That created a complicated relationship with myself. I became hyper-focused on my appearance, my relationships, anything that could define me from the outside. And as I got older, it only intensified. When you grow up without learning how to express yourself, you spend years masking pain, and you start to feel like a stranger in your own family. Your parents become glorified caregivers, and every new person you meet feels like a performance. You start constantly asking yourself, how do I make myself acceptable? Humans don't bond intellectually, we bond emotionally. We connect through resonance, not logic. That's why friendships form between people with similar nervous systems. Most of this happens subconsciously. I didn't know that at the time, so when my family didn't truly recognize me, and when kids at school treated me like an outsider to the point of calling me an alien, I didn't question that. I internalized it. I decided it meant I wasn't good enough, and that belief formed a core part of my identity. And once that belief takes root, it doesn't stay contained. It starts braiding into every area of your life. My lack of friends became, it's because I'm not pretty enough. It's because I'm boring. It's because I'm not enough. Then in a workplace, when I didn't bond with managers or move forward, it became the same story. I'm just not good enough, but it wasn't reality. It was a subconscious script running the entire time. And that same seed showed up in my relationships because I didn't feel worthy and I didn't have a solid sense of self. I was drawn to men who lacked identity, men who I had to overgive to just to feel like I mattered. I wasn't consciously thinking I needed to prove my worth to be loved, but my life was acting it out anyways. That's how deep these scripts run. It wasn't until I faced abuse in our relationship and then pregnancy as a result that I finally saw how unconsciously I had been directing my life. This is where a lot of people get stuck because relationships reinforce the script. It's like two co-stars trapped in the same movie repeating the same scenes over and over again. That cycle doesn't stop until someone gets the courage to leave. And leaving doesn't just mean walking away. It means acknowledging how you were led there and sitting with the pain of seeing yourself clearly. That was the hardest part for me. After I left, I spent nights questioning everything. Am I good enough? Can I really make it? Every childhood belief resurfaced the moment I disobeyed the old narrative. Because when you finally say no to it, you don't just pull out one piece of it. You pull out the entire root. And people around you will try to put it back. Sometimes the world does that out of fear, sometimes out of love, and sometimes without even realizing it. But I made it through, and I found my purpose through that path. The initial resistance of going against your life trajectory is always the hardest part. After that, something shifts. Your environment starts helping you plant a new seed. What made me realize I needed to make this video is that I was still hiding. I hid my pregnancy, my vulnerability, even from my own family. And even when I finally realized it, I was met with logical fears that mirrored the very scripts I was trying to escape. That's when I understood something. Courage isn't just leaving, it's emotional honesty. Expression, letting yourself be fully seen before you feel safe enough. So if your thoughts are looping, if your emotions keep testing your will, keep going. There's a root attached to it. And when you finally pull the right string, everything surfaces. Not to punish you, but so you can finally see your own production clearly and choose a different role.